Welcome back to another exciting episode of The Scene. Today I'm joined by two members of Trailer Park Country. First, we're going to talk to Dennis Cockerham. How you doing, Dennis?
Good. How you doing today?
I'm great, man. I'm great. This is a treat for me, man. I always love meeting new artists that I haven't met in the Sioux Falls and the South Dakota scene. So before we get into Trailer Park Country, why don't we start a little bit with just who is Dennis Cockerham?
Well, truth of the matter is, I'm just a guy who drives a bus in Sioux Falls, man. Just a regular guy. Obviously, first trailer was out in Silver Glen here in Sioux Falls, we just went from there. So I drive a bus for those people who utilize wheelchairs in Sioux Falls, and then we play some music, and we try to put our truth out there and have fun doing it.
Well, that's great, man. I love that you kind of have a very noble job and something that provides you a lot of kind of not lonesome time, but that windshield time can be a very special place for songwriters, especially. Do you find yourself, coming up with lyrics and music while you're driving the bus during the day?
I do. I'm known as the party bus. My passengers they know every word to every one of our songs, even those that haven't been to studio yet. And I'm always dancing with them, you know what I mean? And singing the song, seeing what they think. It's pretty awesome. It's actually a very gratifying job.
Yeah.
It inspires me.
Well, and I'm getting to know you just through, listening to you. You seem like someone who really pulls the joy out of life, and you kind of seek to spread that. And that really comes out in your video as well. I've already been checking it out. So you got a video called Tailgate Crazy. I know it's getting a lot of traction. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. You know what? Being raised here in the Midwest, the basic idea was this, anytime we wanted to have a good time, all we did is we took our truck somewhere and we dropped the tailgate, and wherever we dropped the tailgate, that's where we had a good time. And that inspired the song. And, we put it out there to some of the major tailgating communities in the NFL. They liked the song. It was debuted outside the Cleveland Browns Stadium at the end of last season. They shot video footage. Next thing you know, we had Timmy the Bus, so Captain Steve Weber from Greatest North American Tailgating Society, Timmy the Bus from the Chicago Bears, Freddie Chief Texan from the Houston Texans, Doc Lightning from the LA Chargers. They all picked up the song, played it at their tailgates in all the different cities that they were at, filmed footage, and we held a tailgate right here in South Dakota, right here in Sioux Falls during the blizzard last winter. And we did it inside of our bus depot. And we had USA Media TV come and film that. And then we took all the footage, put it together, and put out we pre-released it. We didn't follow all the normal rules, we're Trailer Park. So we pre-released it on the Facebook without putting a link up or anything like that. And we had over 4,000 views and 98 shares in less than 2 days.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was big. It was such a success that they called and invited us to perform at the Superfan Summit tailgate for the NFL 2024 draft. And we just got back from that.
That's cool. Well, tell us all about it, man. Let's go.
Man, I'm telling you what, I had never, it's all the personalities that you see on TV. First of all, it was a short notice. So Jason Rabbass, Dion Rabbass, and Neil Stack, the other members of our band, they weren't able to make it because of the fact that it was such short notice. So what they did is they laid down the backing track for me, and we put it on a USB. And I was like, well, we decided we're going to go up. We're going to make an appearance. Why wouldn't we? So we get up there, and we drove. It's 15-hour drive. We drove up there. And we got up there there's like 32 teams represented. They got DJs flown in from New York, all types of things going on at the same time, news cameras, crews everywhere. And they just plugged in the USB, and the song started going. So I just said, heck with it. We're just going to show them how we do it back here in Sioux Falls. And I put on my cowboy hat and my boots and jumped up there and started doing it. And they knew every freaking word to the song, and it was just amazing. And we entertained. It was great.
Dude, that is awesome, man. I am giddy just thinking about it. I'm a Bears fan, so this draft was a big one for me.
Yes, it
What
was.
a joy to have it in Detroit too, to stick it to the Lions fans. I am not sorry. Beautiful, man. I am so happy for you guys, and we just wish you all the best, man. It's so beautiful to watch our friends putting South Dakota on the map, man. It's just all over. We were out at the Midwest Country Music Organization Awards, same weekend as the draft. So while you're out doing your thing out there, we were taking part in that out in Okoboji and really
Yeah,
making
that's
ourselves a big
awesome.
part of that organization. And they're looking to spread into South Dakota. I can see you on the stage at the awards show with your song Trailer Park Country there too, man. I'm already smiling thinking about South Dakota having a big representation next year, and highly recommend that you get yourself into the organization for sure. And all of our other listeners, you guys already know I'm a big proponent of getting together for a $50 membership. Just being connected to all the individuals that you are, and having the access is that great, man. And y'all are out there doing it independently,
Yes. Yep.
and just doing it. But you have a history with the bigger, names and working in Nashville. I think you said beforehand. Can you kind of speak about your history with the Nashville Songwriters Associations?
Yeah, well, the biggest part of it is like in Star Wars trilogy goes backwards. So does our music. Tailgate Crazy was a song that we wrote and submitted it to the organization, and they actually sent it back to us three times, wanting us to take out what they considered was the the third verse, the bridge, where we said we don't need we don't rope no cattle, we don't own a horse, we just drop our tailgate down because we're country to the core. Because they said everybody out there they do all that. I said, well, we're not talking about you, we're talking about us. So got together with Jason. He said, well, let's just put it out ourselves. So that's what made us run the song by ourselves. And then Dirt Rich, Dirty Poor, which came out second, was actually our shout out to Nashville, telling them, "Look, we got this. I mean, we don't need anybody. We got a 16 by 80. We're going to do this right here from Sioux Falls." So that's our little anthem. That's the order that it came out in, and that's why it came out.
Awesome, man. Well, let's talk about Dirt Rich, Dirty Poor while we mentioned it.
All right. Like I said, this is it's trailer park country, and Dirt Rich, Dirty Poor just says, "Hey, look, we're just regular folk doing our thing, speaking our truth, having a good time, and we're doing it. We're putting in our work, and we're having fun, and we don't necessarily follow all the rules, but who does? Who does? We barbecue on Sundays. I mean, we've gotten our food at the dollar store. I mean, we've done it all. We've come from nothing, and now we're getting a little bit of traction, and it's awesome. I mean, and it's awesome also to include other people in it. I don't know if your audience or anybody has heard, but June 1st in Larchwood, Iowa, is the first ever annual Chislik Festival in Iowa, and we're hosting the entertainment that day. And we have entertainment lined up all day long, and then we'll take the stage and perform, and then also they'll end the night out with another Sioux Falls band rocking it out, Serious Shirley, and they're having their poker runs, swap meets, Chislik. I mean, it's right downtown on the main street. If people got a band and they want to reach out to me, and if they'd like to enter that show something, you know what I mean? Put on a performance. We're doing that this year, and it's going to be awesome.
That's great, man. I know I'm available. I'd love to be
All
part of
right.
that. I'll bring the podcast
Okay.
down and check it all out. There ain't nothing more Midwestern than a Chislik festival. I
That's
tell
what
you
I'm
what.
talking. That's our tailgate.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
That's
well, and
our
that's what
tailgate.
I love. What you guys are doing, and that's really what the podcast is all about too. Is that we got it all out here, man. We're good. We
Yeah.
just need to tell
Yeah.
everybody, and that's why how the podcast kind of evolved was out of Dave Holly, the Dave Holly Hour. He had me on his podcast, and I'm in the studio with him. And I go, "Hey, I got that same mic in my house. Oh, hey, I got that. Oh, hey, I got that." I was like, "Dave, I got a podcast studio, don't I?" He's like, "Yeah, you probably do." And he's like, "Here, I'll do you one better." And he gave me, I call it it's the Zoom P4. It's got four XLRs on the back of it and a headphone jack on the side, so we can do this anywhere, anytime, pretty much, right? and
Yeah.
it's changed the entire course of my life, Dennis.
Yeah, I like it, and here's my thing is like I'm a self-taught guitar player, and most of my songs are written with three chords and an acoustic, and then I turn it over to Jason, and Jason turns it into something way better. And the more that we collab with the band or other people, the better our stuff gets, and the more we encourage each other, the more our performances. I'm an entertainer, so I put a mic in my hand, and that's where the trailer part comes out.
The
And
quintessential front man.
that's right. That's me. And like I said, Jason's right here with me when it comes to the band aspect and everything. He's in charge. He runs the band, and it's really worked well. We really click well together.
That's awesome. Well, why don't we get him on the phone here and let's talk to him. Dennis, it was so nice to meet you and talk to you. We're so proud of you guys. You're South Dakota. You're out there representing South Dakota. We love that, and that's what we're all about here. So we'll have you back on the show anytime, and we'll be talking about that show down in Iowa.
All right, sounds great. And check out the video. All right, here's Jason. Thank you for having us.
Awesome. All right. Well, welcome into the scene, Jason.
How you doing, brother?
I'm well, man. So we've met a couple of times, but
We have, yes.
for our listeners, why don't you give them a little bit?
A little bit about me, I guess. Yeah, from Nebraska originally, moved up to Yankton, and then found myself in Sioux Falls in a band, so I had to move here. They had a little bit going on that I was interested in, and Bob and I have met each other a few times. I've been in a couple different bands, and Dennis and I go way back to Norfolk, Nebraska. We grew up together.
Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, Dennis buried the lead on that one. You guys are old friends.
Oh yeah. He lived right down the block from me, and yeah, we went to the park. Was only another block away. We went to the park all the time, hung out, and did a lot of fun stuff together. Got in trouble a couple times together.
I've done some fun stuff too, Jason.
So when he asked if I wanted to be a part of this, and he showed me the songs, and his lyrics are just, there's something special about his lyrics, and I had to give it a shot, and we just clicked well together.
Well, and yeah, it really works out well for Dennis. I don't know. We didn't really get into his history in Sioux Falls, but with you know a lot of the scene. You know a lot of the players, especially in, the bands that are playing, the working bands. I mean, you've pretty much played in all of them the last 2-3 years that I've known you.
Yeah.
From Shirley and Stone's Throw years ago. I mean, you've been in pretty much every band I've seen you in at least at one point, right? So how nice for Dennis to kind of have you as a resource as well to make it a little easier to put a band together. And did he say there's another Rabbass in the band as well?
Yeah, my little brother from Norfolk, Nebraska, Dion. He's when I started out playing music, I didn't have a band for a long time, and then I had a couple of high school bands. And when my brothers, I taught them how to play guitar, and my other brother picked up the drums real quick, and we had a band together. And my two brothers, they went on to have Spelling Tuesday out of Norfolk, Nebraska, for years, and we just a musical family, I guess. I grew up listening to music, playing music. My parents were in bands. My grandfather was in a big band. So it was just a natural transition for me. And my little brother, he's an awesome musician, and I had to have him, and called him up and said, listen, this is the deal. Are you in or out? And he immediately in. So I'm happy to have him.
Yeah, that's great, man. I come from a family background in music. Me and my dad play in the band together. When when I still lived in Deadwood, he was in it. We started Starts and Ends together back in 2009. And yeah, there's a theme on this show now, Jason, of all the musicians it seems like we talk to now have had music in the family, in the home as children, and it shows you how important that is. Very rare it is now that I have an interview where music was not already in the home from these people that are out there working now, right? So how
Right.
cool to have your brother in the band, and obviously this thing's going places, right? And after a lifetime of playing music and just kind of doing it out there, to have some things hitting. I don't know if there's been any monetary success to it yet, right? You're getting the attention. That's kind of the first thing. And then how do you
Right.
leverage that in the end? How do you get some fans out of this song? And obviously there's fans of the song out there, which is just cool in itself, man. Like my heart is palpitating thinking about, being on stage at the draft like Dennis just was, man. Like I
Yeah.
was just at Dr. Lucky's in front of 40, 50 people maybe. And that's the feeling I got. So thinking that, times a few hundred, I love it. I do so much on the outside of the stage performance, right? I'm promoting, I'm doing podcasts, I'm doing all these other things, right? And then the performance is over in the blink of an eye, and I
Yeah.
kind of forget how enjoyable what we get to do is, except when you have some really magical nights. We had our buddy Tristan Schofield come out from Phillips, South
Right
Dakota,
on.
join us at
Right
Dr.
on.
Lucky's. He didn't realize when he was opening the show that he was also playing guitar all night. And we
That's
just
always
jammed,
good.
man. We met in the parking lot, brother, and it would be the same thing as me and you stepping on stage. I know there's so much overlap in the songs that
Yeah.
we know. We are going to have no problem putting on a 2-hour show. No problem.
Agreed.
And we didn't.
Agreed.
We rocked it out. We had a great time. And man, I'm thinking of that feeling that I had jamming with the boys on Friday night, to being at the NFL draft and these people singing your songs out there that you've never met. And it's a cool feeling,
Yeah.
man. And I know that, so you didn't get to make the trip with him.
No,
What's
I
the
had a prior
feeling?
engagement.
Yeah, well, and those things happen, right? The life, just the life. I tell people that,
Right.
we don't do music for a living. We're living musicians.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
sometimes that means that you have another gig or you have another job or you have kids or you know what I mean? Like
Right.
life is
Right.
still going on. And the fact
Yeah.
that we get together and do the things that we do sometimes is a blessing. So you're the music guy. Are you producing everything at home studio?
Most of it is home studio. Yes, we tried the route of seeking out other studios, and they either didn't have what we wanted, or they couldn't do what we wanted. So we just figured, we'll cut it ourselves. We'll figure it out, and we did.
Good for you. Good for you. That's like I said, that's what we're all about here at the scene is independent musicians and supporting this. I'm not trying to do this so that I can get Luke Combs on my show. I could care less. I don't live in that world, right? That's not my
Right.
world. What I care about
Right.
is this upper Midwest thing we got going on. I spoke with Dennis about the Midwest Country Music Organization. I'm going to send both of you guys links and get you in. Let's get you an award. And what the association really is a group of people that are all there supporting one another, right? And a rising
Right on.
tide raises all ships. And to be part of organizations like that, and just to be part of a scene that has that. And we
Yes.
really have that going on in Sioux
Yes.
Falls right now. I'm going to shout out a mutual friend of ours, Kyle Cruz. Him and
Right
his
on.
wife Crystal were out this weekend checking out everybody and posting about other
Yep.
bands. And man, we need those people. We need them
Yeah,
so
we-
much. And I really appreciate Kyle and his time. I know you guys have played music together in the past.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, man, we just got some great people in South Dakota that are part of this scene right now. And part of this show is to really give us our shine, man. We're out here doing things too. Just because we ain't in Nashville or LA or New York doesn't mean that we ain't doing big things. And I think Trailer
That's
Park
right.
Country has proven that. You guys are firing me up, man.
Well, that's awesome. I love the music scene here in Sioux Falls and around this area. I try to support all the bands here because, we're all in the same boat. And when we can rise together, we are going to make a splash.
Well, and we are going to make a
And
splash. We are making a splash this summer. I got some real big shows coming up with my band and things that I'm producing and things that we're trying to do. And I tell you what, Trailer Park Country is going to be a part of that.
I appreciate that.
I I love doing this show because of this thing right here. We've met in the past, Jason, but I've never got to really sit and talk music with you and talk, who you are and what you're really about. And just the brief conversation here, 10 minutes apiece with you and Dennis both, it lets me know that you guys are guys that I want to work with, right? That I want to go out of my way to help these guys because they're out here doing it. You're doing it with original music and you're proud to be Midwestern AF.
Right on.
And
yes.
that's our thing, man. That's the scene. You can hashtag that. I have been for the last month and a half.
Okay.
And
okay.
yeah, man, because that's what it's about. And it's
For
so
sure.
many, so much synergy right now happening between so many groups and people. And I really feel that rising tide is happening now, right? We're in it. And everybody just keep doing their thing. And you guys keep putting out great music. And let's have the best year of our lives, boys.
I love it. And you got some exciting stuff going on, Bubba. I can't lie. I'm a subscriber. I follow your posts. I follow your page. I follow DBS. You got some exciting stuff going on. I'd love to be a part of all of that.
Awesome. Well, yeah, and likewise, right? So we're gonna be in touch a lot more, I think, in the next few weeks. And man, we got all kinds of good stuff. I got songwriter nights going on at Club David now. We got the open mic on Tuesdays at Dr. Lucky's, right? All of these things are feeding the whole scene, right? That was my vision, 3 months ago when I was talking about it. And I really fell ass over tea kettle into the whole podcast thing because I was like, man, we really need a podcast that does, more of this and like this. And once I went on Dave's, I was like, well, you're already doing your thing. I can't ask you to do more of that. And then once I realized that, well, you're more than capable of doing it. You're actually pretty good at it. Your phone's full of all these musicians' phone numbers anyway. I mean, why? Seriously, this Zoom P4 changed my life, Jason. I mean, the fact that I can plug my phone into a recording device and we can just rap for 20 minutes at a time, right? That's huge, man. And now we have the scene. So let's just keep building it. And Trailer Park Country is going to be a big part of that. I have no doubts. So I appreciate your time. That's Jason Rabbass. That was Dennis Cockerham, their Trailer Park Country, and you've been listening to The Scene.
I want to thank everybody and welcome to the Trailer Park.
Hell yeah, buddy. Thank you for listening. Remember to go to patreon.com/thescenesd. Follow us on all your social media channels and make yourself part of The Scene.